Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever looked down at your breakfast and thought, this right here, this is healthy. I'm doing something good for my body. Maybe it's a warm bowl of oatmeal, a little fruit on top, maybe a splash of milk, or a scoop of something extra for your bones. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Now here's the twist most people don't see coming. What if I told you that some of the most common things people mix into their oatmeal are actually working against them? Yes, against you, against your blood pressure, against your digestion, against your energy, even against your heart. And you don't even know it's happening. Why? Because these foods are marketed as healthy. They've got fancy labels, they're stocked in wellness aisles, and they're probably in your kitchen right now. But when you mix them with oatmeal, you're unknowingly creating a toxic combo that could be slowing you down, aging you faster, and messing with your health in ways you don't realize. Yet, I know, it sounds dramatic, but stay with me. This isn't scare tactics. This is real. Because every single morning, thousands of older folks like you and me sit down to a bowl of oatmeal, thinking they're doing something right. And for the most part, they are. Oatmeal by itself is a powerful, fiber-rich, heart-friendly food. But when you toss in the wrong toppings, that so-called healthy yogurt, that splash of juice, that sweetener, you might be sabotaging your blood sugar, blocking your body from absorbing nutrients, or causing inflammation that leads to fatigue, joint pain, or worse, and blaming it on old age. But it's not age. It's what's inside your bowl. And the worst part? Nobody's talking about this. Not your doctor. Not the food companies. Definitely not the people selling those protein powders or calcium pills you're tossing in every morning. But I will. Because you deserve better. You deserve to know the truth about what's helping you and what's hurting you. So here's what I want you to do. Stick with me to the end of this video and I'll walk you through 7 everyday foods that you should never mix with oatmeal, and why. I'll also show you what to do instead to boost your energy, protect your heart, and feel younger longer. Because here on Thriving Oldies, we don't settle for just getting by in our golden years. We grow wiser, we grow stronger, and we thrive. Now real quick, I'm curious, what's your go-to oatmeal mix-in? Is it banana? A little honey? Maybe something out of the box? Drop it in the comments below. Because trust me, someone else is doing the same thing, and your answer might just spark a conversation that could help someone else. And hey, if you care about your health and want more videos like this to guide you through the everyday choices that truly make a difference, go ahead and subscribe to Thriving Oldies. We're not just here to age. We're here to age better. Now, let's take a hard look at that oatmeal, because what's inside that bowl might shock you. Let's dive in. Now, let's talk about one that slips past almost everybody, because it's not in your oats, it's not even mixed in, but it's right there on the side, every single morning. That hot, familiar mug of tea or coffee. Comforting, soothing, the thing that starts your day. The thing you reach for out of habit, almost like muscle memory. But here's the catch. When you're pairing tea or coffee with your oatmeal, especially if you're adding healthy iron-rich toppings like raisins, seeds, or nuts, you might be doing more harm than good. Let me explain. See, both tea and coffee, as wonderful as they are, contain natural compounds called tannins and polyphenol. Now, these aren't bad by themselves. In fact, they can have antioxidant benefits. But when consumed together with iron-rich or mineral-rich meals like oatmeal, those tannins bind to the nutrients, especially iron and zinc, and make it harder for your body to absorb them. So, instead of fueling your body, you're passing those nutrients right through and used. And here's a real-life story I hear all the time. Helen, 74, still sharp as a tack and full of personality. She's always been careful about her diet. Oatmeal every morning with raisins, almonds, and flax seeds. But despite her good eating, she kept hearing the same thing at her checkups. Your iron is low. Your energy is dropping. Are you skipping meals? She wasn't. But she was sipping black tea right alongside that breakfast every day. And no one had told her that it was interfering with all the goodness she was trying to get from her food. Now here's the thing. I'm not saying stop drinking tea or coffee. Not at all. They have their place. They're part of the joy of morning. But timing matters. If you want to get the full benefit from your oatmeal, the fiber, the iron, the zinc, the magnesium, wait at least 30 to 60 minutes after eating before you pour that cup. Let your body soak in the nutrients first. Then enjoy your tea or coffee as a slow mid-morning pleasure. It's a small shift, but one that can make a big difference in how your body feels, how it absorbs nutrients, and how much energy you carry into your day. And for those who really can't wait, try pairing your coffee with a snack that isn't high in iron. Something like a rice cake or a plain slice of whole grain toast. Let oatmeal stand on its own in the morning, and give it a chance to really work for you. Now, let's move on to something that's got a crunch. Something people often crumble on top of their oatmeal because it looks healthy. It says natural, wholesome, whole grain right there on the box. But when you take a closer look, it's actually one of the sneakiest sugar traps on the breakfast table. So, you've got your oats in the bowl, maybe a few berries on top now instead of citrus. Smart choice. But then comes something a lot of folks do without thinking twice. You reach for that little supplement container, pop out a calcium pill, toss it back. A few spoonfuls of oatmeal, maybe a sip of water. Done. You're thinking, 2 birds, 1 stone. Good breakfast and I'm looking after my bones. But here's the problem, and it's one almost nobody talks about. You see, oatmeal contains something called phytic acid. It's a natural compound, totally safe in small amounts. But when it binds with minerals like calcium or iron, it locks them up, prevents your body from absorbing them properly. So even though you're taking that pill, your body might not be getting any of it. It's like trying to pour water into a bottle with the cap still on. And Jane, 75, active, full of life, she learned this the hard way. Every morning she made her oatmeal, took her calcium with it. But months later, her doctor told her her bone density was dropping. She was shocked. "But I never miss my supplements," she said. What no one had explained to her was that timing matters. Your body's ability to absorb nutrients is delicate, especially as we age. And the very food that keeps your heart healthy, oats, can accidentally block the nutrients meant to strengthen your bones. It's not your fault. It sounds like a good idea. Eat well, take your meds, get on with your day. But the truth is, your supplements need their own spotlight. So what can you do instead? Simple. Take your calcium at a different time, ideally a few hours away from meals high in fiber or whole grains. Mid-morning, or even before bed, those are great options. And if you're not sure what works best for your body, talk to your doctor. A quick adjustment can make a big difference in the long run. Because the goal isn't just taking a pill, it's getting the benefit from it. And now that you know that, let's talk about something that's trickier, because it looks healthy. It's marketed as diabetic friendly. 0 sugar, it says on the label. But deep down it could be harming your gut, your mind, and your metabolism. Let's talk about artificial sweeteners. Meet George. He's 68, diabetic, and loves oatmeal. He used to add brown sugar, but after his doctor warned him, he made the switch. Now it's a little pink or yellow packet. Stir, stir, done. No sugar. No guilt. Problem solved, right? Not quite. George started noticing something odd. He felt bloated after breakfast, got headaches by mid-morning. His digestion slowed down. But he didn't connect the dots until his nutritionist asked one simple question. What are you putting in your oatmeal? See, many artificial sweeteners like sucralose, aspartame, saccharin, and others, they mess with the balance of bacteria in your gut. And that gut health is tied to almost everything. Your immune system, your blood sugar, your brain health, even your mood. Not only that, some studies suggest these sweeteners may cause your body to respond the same way it does to real sugar, spiking insulin, confusing your metabolism, which, ironically, is the very thing George was trying to avoid. It's a trap, honestly. We're told, no sugar equals safe for diabetics. But no sugar doesn't mean no consequences. So what's a better choice? Try this. A teaspoon of real honey, in moderation. Or a sprinkle of cinnamon. It helps with blood sugar and adds warmth. Even mashed bananas or applesauce can add sweetness without that chemical aftertaste or digestive trouble. It's all about supporting your body, not tricking it. And if you're used to sweeteners, give your taste buds a little time to reset. You'll be surprised how naturally sweet oatmeal can be when you let the real ingredients shine through. Now, let's talk about one that's subtle. Something you've probably done for years without a second thought. Because it's not in the oatmeal, but it's right there beside it, every single morning. Your warm, comforting cup of tea. Or that strong, familiar mug of coffee. Seems harmless, right? Well, let's take a closer look. Now for the sneaky one. The one hiding behind a label that says healthy, natural, or energy boosting. It sounds like the kind of thing you should be putting in your oatmeal. But trust me, this one's got a sugar secret that's been fooling people for years. Let's talk about granola and energy bars. Now, I know the idea is appealing. You want a little crunch, something to give that soft oatmeal a bit of texture. So you reach into the cupboard, grab a granola bar, maybe even one labeled oats and honey or almond delight. Crumble it over your bowl and feel like you're doing something right. It's got grains, it's got nuts, maybe even a raisin or two. What could possibly go wrong? Well, let me introduce you to Sam. He's 66. Active, still walks his dog every morning, still does the crossword without needing reading glasses. But Sam started gaining weight around the belly. He felt sluggish after breakfast, needed a nap before lunch and couldn't figure out why. He wasn't eating junk. He wasn't skipping meals. In fact, he had a routine, a bowl of oatmeal topped with crushed up granola bar pieces every single day. But what he didn't realize is that most commercial granola bars, even the ones that look healthy, are loaded with added sugars, syrups, oils, and preservatives. And when you combine that with oatmeal, which already has healthy carbs on its own, you're basically doubling your sugar and carb intake first thing in the morning, which means you're giving your body a quick rush of energy, followed by a hard crash. And for older adults especially, those kinds of sugar swings can affect everything. Your blood sugar control, your weight, your energy levels, even your sleep. But that's not even the whole story. Granola often contains refined oils and sweeteners, ingredients that inflame the body, raise your triglycerides, and over time, can contribute to heart issues and insulin resistance. All this from something that pretends to be healthy. Now don't get me wrong, the idea behind granola isn't bad. Grains, nuts, seeds, those are good things. But it's how they're packaged and processed that makes the difference. So what's the fix? It's easier than you think. If you want crunch in your oatmeal, go straight to the source. Toss in raw walnuts, sliced almonds, pumpkin seeds, or chia seeds. They're full of healthy fats, plant-based protein, and fiber, with none of the added sugars or empty calories. Want a little sweetness to go with it? Throw in a few dried cranberries or a sliced fig. Just watch the portion and you'll be fine. And if you really miss that bar-like flavor or texture, try making your own at home. Oats, peanut butter, a drizzle of honey, some flax or chia. That way you control the ingredients, not the factory. The truth is, your oatmeal doesn't need fancy labels to be powerful. It just needs real food, food that works with your body, not against it. Now, let's talk about something that feels responsible. Something that feels like you're going the extra mile for your health. You've made your oatmeal, and then you think, let me add a little protein to balance this out. So you reach for that tub of protein powder. Vanilla, chocolate, maybe unflavored, and you scoop it right in. Sounds like a smart move, right? Well, not always. Let's dig into that one next. And now we've come to the final one. Protein powders. They're everywhere these days. In smoothies, shakes, even baked into muffins. And I get it, as we get older we do need more protein to support our muscles, our bones, our strength. So it makes sense, right? You've got your warm bowl of oatmeal. You add a scoop of vanilla protein powder, mix it in smooth. You're thinking, there. That's a balanced breakfast. That's exactly what Patricia thought too. She's 71. Always up early, always active. She started using protein powder because she wanted to stay strong, avoid muscle loss, and keep up with her grandkids. But within weeks, she noticed something was off. She felt sluggish after breakfast, bloated, heavy, almost like she had a rock in her stomach. And no matter what she tried, the discomfort kept coming back. Now here's what she didn't know. Most commercial protein powders, especially the flavored ones, are filled with artificial sweeteners, sugar alcohols, and chemical thickeners to make them taste good and mix easily. Things like sucralose, maltodextrin, or gums and emulsifiers. The problem is, those ingredients can disrupt your gut, cause bloating, and even interfere with how your body absorbs nutrients from the oats and everything else in your bowl. So even though you're trying to help your body, you're actually making digestion harder. You're asking your gut to work overtime just to break everything down. And there's this idea floating around that more protein is always better. But the truth? Your body can only use so much protein at a time. Too much, especially in one sitting, just becomes extra work for your kidneys, your liver, your system. And for older adults, that's important, because we need to support our organs, not overload them. So what's the smarter approach? If you really want to add protein to your oatmeal, choose a clean, unflavored powder. One with minimal ingredients, no sweeteners, no gums, no fillers. Just pure protein. Or better yet, skip the powder entirely. Add a spoonful of nut butter, almond, peanut, sunflower, all natural. Toss in some chia seeds, hemp hearts, or a few walnuts. Or pair your oatmeal with a hard-boiled egg or a side of plain Greek yogurt. These are real foods. Recognizable. Easy for your body to digest and use. Because that's the goal, not just to eat more, but to eat smarter. And now that we've gone through these 7 common oatmeal mistakes, let's take a step back. Let's talk about what all this really means. Here comes the emotional truth. Because it's a little scary, isn't it? To think that something as simple, as innocent, as warm and familiar as oatmeal could be slowly working against you. That a few little additions, a squeeze of juice, a scoop of powder, a handful of store-bought crunch, could be stealing your energy, stressing your body, making it harder for you to stay well. And yet it happens all the time. Not because we're careless, but because we're trying. We're trying to do the right thing. That's the part that hits hardest. You're trying to eat better. You're trying to take your supplements. You're doing the best you can with what you know. But now, you know more. And that changes everything. Because you are not powerless. Not at all. Now you're informed. Now you're aware. Now you can make small, smart choices that protect your health and honor the effort you've already been putting in. It's not about tossing out your oatmeal. It's about respecting it. Letting it do what it's meant to do, fuel you, nourish you. So tomorrow morning, before you grab that flavored yogurt, before you stir in that bar, before you take that pill with your oats, just pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, is this helping me thrive or silently hurting me? Because you deserve a breakfast that lifts you up, not one that drags you down. And the good news? It's all fixable. Just a few swaps, a little awareness, and your body will thank you every single day. Because at Thriving Oldies, we believe that aging isn't about fading. It's about flourishing. It's about feeling strong, informed, and fully alive at every age. And you, my friend, deserve nothing less. Now, let's quickly go over the big takeaways, so it really sticks, shall we? So, let's bring it all home. Let's recap everything we've uncovered together, because sometimes the smallest changes lead to the biggest transformations. Here are the 7 foods you should never mix with oatmeal, especially if your goal is to feel better, move easier, and protect your health as you age. Citrus fruits sounds healthy, right? But the acidity can upset your stomach and block iron absorption. Flavored yogurt, that fruity swirl often comes with a sugar overload that cancels out your oatmeal's benefits. Calcium supplements, when taken with oats, they don't absorb well. Take them later for stronger bones. Artificial sweeteners, they promise no sugar, but may disrupt your gut and spike your insulin just the same. Tea or coffee, that comforting sip too soon can interfere with key minerals your body needs from your meal. Granola or energy bars, sneaky sugar bombs hiding in plain sight. Crunchy? Yes. Healthy? Not always. Low-quality protein powders, full of fillers and chemicals that may do more harm than good. Now, let me ask you something from the heart. Which of these caught you off guard? Which one made you think, oh no, I've been doing that for years? And what's your go-to oatmeal topping? Is it fruit? Nuts? A special mix-in? Let's talk about it in the comments. I'm reading every single one, and trust me, your comment might just help someone else make a better choice tomorrow morning. Because Thriving Oldies isn't just about listening. It's about learning, sharing, and supporting one another through every season of life. Now, if this video helped you see your daily routine in a new light, if it sparked a little curiosity, or gave you that aha moment, then do me a small favor, will you? Give this video a thumbs up. Not for me, but for the message. For the thousands of older adults who deserve to thrive, not just survive. And if you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe to Thriving Oldies. Here we dive deep into the daily decisions that shape our health, our strength, and our joy. Because growing older isn't about slowing down. It's about getting smarter and rising higher. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Join this beautiful, growing family of wise, empowered people, just like you. And as we close today, I just want to say this. Thank you. Thank you for caring about your health. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And thank you for spending this time with me. It means more than you know. So until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and stay thriving. I'll see you in the next one.